Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Items selected at random from a population and used to test hypotheses about the population. Measurement at regular intervals of the amplitude of a varying waveform, in order to convert it to digital form. Statistics, the selection of a suitable sample for study. Take a sample of. Items selected at random from a population and used to test hypotheses about the population. All are part of a natural object that is collected and preserved as an example of its class. A small part of something intended as representative of the whole. Items selected at random from a population and used to test hypotheses about the population. Statistics, an arrangement of values of a variable showing their observed or theoretical frequency of occurrence. Statistics, an arrangement of values of a variable showing their observed or theoretical frequency of occurrence. The spatial or geographic property of being scattered about over a range, area, or volume. Worldwide in distribution. The act of distributing or spreading or apportioning. The commercial activity of transporting and selling goods from a producer to a consumer. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. The measurements were carefully done. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. His mental measurings proved remarkably accurate. A statute in draft before it becomes law. How much there is or how many there are of something that you can quantify. A basis for comparison, a reference point against which other things can be evaluated. They set the measure for all subsequent work. Any maneuver made as part of progress toward a goal. The situation called for strong measures. Determine the measurements of something or somebody, take measurements of. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. The measurements were carefully done. Express as a number or measure or quantity. Prosody, the accent in a metrical foot of verse. Measuring instrument having a sequence of marks at regular intervals, used as a reference in making measurements. Musical notation for a repeating pattern of musical beats. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A container of some standard capacity that is used to obtain fixed amounts of a substance. Have certain dimensions. This table surfaces measures 20 inches by 36 inches. The act of choosing or selecting. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. What option did I have? The right to buy or sell property at an agreed price. The right is purchased, and if it is not exercised by a stated date, the money is forfeited. The person or thing chosen or selected. A natural process resulting in the evolution of organisms best adapted to the environment. A passage selected from a larger work. The act of choosing or selecting. An assortment of things from which a choice can be made. The store carried a large selection of shoes. The person or thing chosen or selected. The act of choosing or selecting. Your choice of colors was unfortunate. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. My only choice is to refuse. of superior grade. Choice wines. Appealing to refined taste. Choice wine. The quantity of a crop that is harvested. He sent the first picking of berries to the market. The person or thing chosen or selected. He was my pick for mayor. A heavy iron tool with a wooden handle and a curved head that is pointed on both ends. They used picks and sledges to break the rocks. Pull lightly but sharply with a plucking motion. Pay for something. Pick up the tab. Look for and gather. Pick mushrooms. The act of choosing or selecting. You can take your pick. The best people or things in a group. Harass with constant criticism. Don't always pick on your little brother. Eat intermittently. Take small bites of. Remove unwanted substances from, such as feathers or pits. A small thin device, of metal or plastic or ivory, used to pluck a stringed instrument. The yarn woven across the warp yarn in weaving. Attack with or as if with a pickaxe of ice or rocky ground, for example. Hit lightly with a picking motion. A basketball maneuver. Obstructing an opponent with one's body. He was called for setting an illegal pick. A thin sharp implement used for removing unwanted material. He used a pick to clean the dirt out of the cracks. Pilfer or rob. Pickpockets. Provoke. Pick a fight or a quarrel. Remove in small bits. Pick meat from a bone. Select carefully from a group. She finally picked her successor. A statistical procedure for accepting or rejecting a batch of merchandise or documents. Involves determining the maximum number of defects discovered in a sample before the entire batch is rejected. The population is divided into strata and a random sample is taken from each stratum. A sample grabbed at random. A sample in which every element in the population has an equal chance of being selected. The population is divided into strata and a random sample is taken from each stratum. The population is divided into strata and a random sample is taken from each stratum. The selection of a random sample. Each element of the population has an equal chance of being selected. The population is divided into subpopulations, strata, and random samples are taken of each stratum. The population is divided into subpopulations, strata, and random samples are taken of each stratum. The population is divided into subpopulations, strata, and random samples are taken of each stratum. A branch of applied mathematics concerned with the collection and interpretation of quantitative data and the use of probability theory to estimate population parameters. Often plural, systems used in transmitting messages over a distance electronically. Often plural, the branch of electrical engineering concerned with the technology of electronic communication at a distance. Often plural, systems used in transmitting messages over a distance electronically.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.